Blue and red lights painted the pine trees like angry fireworks, sirens echoing off the water, and I remember thinking, yeah, that happened. This is how neighbors end up in court, on TV, or worse, standing on a porch with two squad cars kicking up dust. I had my hands open, palms up, just waiting, because I knew if I said the wrong thing, if I so much as looked wrong, it'd all tip. Karen was already there, arms flapping, face twisted, pointing at me like I'd stolen her firstborn. "That's him," she shrieked. "Officer, arrest him. He refuses to sell, and he's threatening the safety of our lake HOA. He's ignoring the mandate." Her voice could crack glass. Officer Davis stepped out, tall guy, calm eyes, gave me that steady look cops give you when they're not sure if you're about to run or cry. "Sir, can you tell me what's going on?" he asked. Before I could open my mouth, Karen cut me off. "He's blocking the community plan, creating unrest, operating without permission. We voted. He must sell. This cabin's a hazard and a blight." She spit out blight like it tasted sour. I let the breeze hit my face, took a long breath, listened to loons wailing across the water. It was supposed to be a peaceful night, one you tuck away for the hard days, but Karen's words were like rocks, each one sending out ripples, slamming against the shore inside me. "My name is Alex Carter. I finally managed. This is my cabin. I'm not selling." My voice didn't shake, but my heart did, not cause of the cops, just how we end up here. Sirens instead of talking, threats instead of neighborly respect. Karen laughed, sharp and cold. "You're done, Alex. Lakeview Shores HOA has a plan. We're modernizing, tearing down your ugly shack for a 5-story clubhouse. You had your chance." She looked at the cops. "Now it's enforcement time." I told Officer Davis, "I've broken no law. I live here, pay dues, fix things, help folks. I just said no to selling." Officer Reed, quiet guy, scanned my porch. The rails, steps, the solar lights I'd put in for old Mr. Thompson so he could see at dusk, the new life jackets I bought for the kids. He looked at me, and I could tell. He saw the truth wasn't what Karen was selling. Karen yanked a folder from her bag, shaking papers. "We held a special meeting. We voted to force sale. He's obstructing," he argued. He raised his voice. He intimidated me. I just felt tired. My dad used to tell me, "Fight hard for what's right, but keep a gentle heart." The lake remembers who shouts and who listens. I tried to listen, but Karen was shouting for two. Officer Davis skimmed her papers, brow furrowed. "Ma'am, this looks like an HOA letter. I don't see a court order or a safety code violation. Do you have either?" Karen just blustered. "The HOA has power." "That's enough." Officer Reed shook his head. "HOA rules aren't police law. We deal with crimes and safety." Karen's face went red. "It is a safety issue. He's blocking the view, keeping our property values down. He's in the way of the boat launch expansion." I pointed. "The public launch is over there. I even fixed the handrail. Ask Mr. Thompson." Officer Davis handed the papers back. "We'll figure this out, but no one's getting arrested for not selling." Karen glared at me. "You'll regret this. You'll see who really runs this lake." As they talked to her, I stood by the water, thinking back. 8 years old, first trip up in my dad's rusty pickup, trees closing in like a tunnel, cabin rising from the mist. Pancakes burnt, laughter, fishing lines, learning to sit still enough for a dragonfly to land. "Kindness isn't just for people," my dad would whisper. "Be kind to the lake, the wind. It'll make you kinder to everyone." When he got sick, we came back to watch the sunrise, and he said, "This place is a promise. Keep it safe. Not just for you, for anyone who needs a quiet shore." I promised. After college, I kept the cabin standing. I patched the roof, sanded floors, helped neighbors, never kept score, gave my ice cream to a kid who dropped hers, shoveled Mr. Thompson's steps, loaned my generator when the power went out. Not bragging, just what you do when you're lucky enough to call a place home. The HOA used to be friendly. Potlucks, cookies, laughing over spilled wine, until Karen moved in. Bright scarves, loud voice, bigger clubhouse, exclusive everything. People nodded. She sounded like she knew best, but some of us felt our guts twist. Little changes crept in. Hand-painted signs replaced with steel, fines for visual clutter, even chalk drawings. Karen's view corridor meant old cabins had to go. Mine was first. I told her, "Not for any price." She said, "Everyone has a price." I said, Not me. Not this place. The letters started, friendly then sharp, saying I made the place look old, that I was stubborn. I said, old can mean strong. Stubborn means loyal. Then the for sale vote. I asked for rules. She said, we'll make them. Neighbors started whispering about late-night meetings, signs appearing overnight, pressure. I don't want trouble, one said, head down. Karen scares me. Maria, sweet lady, wore headphones on her porch to drown out the knocks. I wrote the board. Let's improve together, not push people out. Next day, my letter was gone. In its place, a printed order, mandatory modernization. I called a lawyer. Turns out, HOA can't force a sale without court. I kept telling myself, stay kind. Kind doesn't mean weak. It means telling the truth without hate. That night, under those sirens, Officer Davis came back. Ma'am says you threatened her. I blinked. I never did. Karen folded her arms, tried to twist my words. I pulled up my porch camera. The video was clear. Me, tired, asking for respect, not threatening anyone. Officers nodded. Karen accused me of shady business. I just felt a quick, sad anger. What makes someone want to control everything? Fear? Loneliness? We're not here to pick HOA sides, Officer Reed said. If you're safe, we'll clear out. No arrest. Karen snapped. This isn't over. She drove off, threatening the architectural committee. Davis handed me his card. Call if you need us. When they left, the night was still, lake breathing, stars pressing close. I sat on the steps, hands on the cedar boards I'd sanded, thinking about all the little things that make a place matter. Kids drawing dolphins, neighbors just wanting peace, folks maybe fooled by promises of something shinier. Then a flashlight bobbed in the yard. Maria's boy, Jacob. Mom says, are you okay? I smiled. I'm okay, buddy. That small kindness untied a knot in my chest. Reminded me, this was worth standing for. The next morning, board meeting. The hall used to be a boathouse. Now, cold steel letters, white walls. Karen stood at the door, scarlet blazer, eyes sharp as nails. Glad you decided to face the music, she sneered. Inside, the air crackled. She hammered her gavel, calling for mandatory modernization. Phase 1, the Carter cabin. Gasps. I stood. You can't just do this. My deed's here. My taxes are paid. My cabin isn't for sale. Karen smirked. Neighbors, he's not even the owner. Rumors say he's just a tenant. That was the lie she'd been building. I held up my folder. Not true. My name's on the deed. Want to read it? Before I could, one of her cronies barked. Proceed with demolition approval. We'll sort ownership later. The crowd exploded. You can't demolish first. But Karen banged her gavel, called for security. 2 guys in black shirts moved in. Mrs. Green, usually shy, stood up, voice trembling. This isn't right, Karen. He belongs here. Suddenly, sunlight exploded through the doors. A voice thundered. Touch him, and you'll regret it. My attorney, Thomas Miller, broad-shouldered, gray suit, strode in with a briefcase. Alex hired me weeks ago. You've trespassed, attempted vandalism, trying to bulldoze his home without a court order. He laid out state statutes. HOA can't force sale. Period. He held up the deed. And by the way, Alex owns your lease, Karen. The room erupted. Karen's face drained. She sputtered, lies. He forged those papers. But Thomas was ready, signed rental agreements, everything in order. I turned to Karen, voice steady. I never wanted this fight. You called the cops, sent men to paint demolition lines, lied to everyone. Now everyone knows. Mrs. Green stood again. I vote we stop this madness. Cheers broke out. Karen snapped. This isn't over. Tomorrow I'll bring the county inspector. If we can't force sale, we'll shut him down with code violations. Next day, Inspector Collins rolled up, clipboard, stern face. Karen followed, crowing about unsafe structures. Collins did his walkthrough. Minor repairs, that's it. Nothing unsafe. Karen's fury burned holes in the gravel. If the county won't stop you, I'll take it to the state. You can't hide forever, Alex. She sped away, and for a second, I felt safe. That night, glass shattered. My window broken, spray paint on the wall. Sell or else. Heart pounding, I called 911. Davis and Reed were back. Photos, footprints, promises to patrol. Maria showed up with tea, worried. Some of us are with you, Alex. We're just afraid. I gripped the old baseball bat my dad left me. Then headlights again. This time, Mark, the assessor Karen sent to dig up dirt. I'm not lying for her, he said, scribbling a statement for me. Proof. Another message buzzed on my phone. You should have sold. Tomorrow we finish this. Next morning, state officials rolled up, crowd gathering. Karen strutted, dripping with fake authority. The inspector reviewed my deed, Mark's statement, the vandalism report. Karen ranted, he's exploiting us. He's the real problem. Maria spoke up. Alex is the only one who's helped us. The inspector shut her binder. No demolition, no forced sale, no more action, until this is sorted. Karen spat, you'll regret this, and stormed off. But the threats kept coming. The next day, Karen tried to lock neighbors out of the dock. Her people with clipboards, crying kids. I said, the dock belongs to all of us. She shouted, you don't get it, Alex. You're fighting progress. Just then, Jacob slipped into the water. I dove in, pulled him out. Maria hugged him, sobbing. Karen sneered. Unsafe dock, see? He's the reason. But the crowd turned on her. He just saved that boy's life. For the first time, her power cracked. That night, trucks rolled in, hired muscle with crowbars, chains. Karen shouted, tear it down. The vote has spoken. But Maria, Mrs. Green, Mark, even quiet neighbors stood by me. The men hesitated. Then sirens, police. Officer Davis, Karen, you're under investigation for harassment, property destruction, HOA abuse. She screamed, this isn't over. The lake belongs to me. But the car door slammed, and her voice faded. Neighbors clapped, hugged, laughter ringing over the water for the first time in months. Chalk dolphins on the dock, pie from Maria, harmonica from Mr. Thompson. I sat on my porch, feeling my dad's promise bloom inside me. Fight hard, with a gentle heart. Kindness outlasts fear. This cabin, this community, stood tall, because enough of us remembered what matters. So that's my story. Some nights are fireworks, some are storms, but the ones that matter, those are the nights you keep your promise. Where are you watching from? Would you have stood with me? Tell me, what's fair? What's justice? What would you have done on that porch with the world burning just outside your door?